Woo-hoo is all I have to say, because those are the words I just heard Asif shout, which that's always a good thing when you're director of production, is in a good mood, yelling out a positive woo-hoo. Which brings me to something I need to share with all of you, which has also given me the woo-hoo kind of spirit. And I don't know quite where to start, but let me just say this.
You're moving on up.
There you go. As Austin said very well, I'm moving on up, or moving back on up. For those of you that may not know, I started off here at Gem Shopping about 17 years ago. For the first 2 years, I was a host for another vendor that's no longer here. After that, I had my own show on Monday mornings, 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. for 9 years. And as a independent vendor, working with Raven by my side. So a great team. Then from there, it was at the right time. The podcast was created, and as the management said, my show was the only show that had a loyal following already built in. So I was the host that was, well, as I look back, gifted with this great opportunity. 7.5 years. This is the 362nd show that we have done, which is a great milestone. 10,900 subscribers. We also directing, we created 30 how it's made videos. If you want to know anything about creating something or having something made at the bench, start to finish, watch the videos. Want to know how a stone is set, flush set, bead set, any method that you can think of, any work or repair. We show you how to put mill grain, that's the little beaded edge, back on pieces. We show you how to size platinum, how gold is sized, and why there's a difference in price to do those things. You need to watch those shows. Now, leading up to all this, think about this. Asif has been here for 23 years. He has been originally, for the very original owner and founder of Gem Shopping, his personal cameraman, and then, of course, was the go-to man for any production issues. But Frank always wanted Asif. Funny thing, I have always wanted him and been lucky enough to get him to be able to direct and do my shows as well all this time. 23 years, Asif has heard all this information in the headphones, in the control booth, all kinds of jewelry, gemstones, and with my show, minerals, fossils, you name it. His mind and brain has taken in all this knowledge. If he only retained a small percent of it over 23 years, the man should have multiple PhDs and be able to tell how gold is alloyed, how a ring is made start to finish, how it is even mined, so much. I have always encouraged Asif that he would make a great host. Well, I am sitting here grinning ear to ear and so proud to tell you that Asif is going to have his own show. The Great Gem Show is going to be the name of it, a perfect name. It's going to be Thursdays, 3 a.m. to 9 a.m., the same time frame that I could have moved from. I had Monday mornings, 9 years of 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. because it felt like such a more private audience, and it felt more one-on-one, to where we could reach out. And you hear the word I used, we. I am so complimented. Asif has asked me to come along with him. It's his show. I am going to be on site for, in case he needed a little bit more information that maybe he didn't know, or maybe to show an incredible mineral specimen of a particular gem that we're getting ready to show a run of gemstones on. You're going to see jewelry, gems, minerals, and even some fossils to tell you the story of how the earth and how the gems are made and give you the chance to buy the items you see as well. It is one of the most exciting things that not only recently has happened for me. I am so excited though, because I get to be there in support of a extremely intelligent gentleman and a true gentleman that has long deserved to get behind the camera instead of teaching all the other vendors how to do a show. He's going to be able to have his own show. And for this, I ask all of you to greatly support him. And then I am just a little bonus to that. So starting, yep, you're going to see this show. It's going to be out on Monday, right? Right after Monday, on that Thursday morning, 3 a.m. to 9, the Great Gem Show.
12/12/24.
What's that?
12/12/24.
12/12/24. That is the date, 12/12/24. And if you're a numerologist, there's all kinds of ways you can put those numbers together and come up with positive outcome for that. So you're going to be able to get to see live Asif, which a lot of people always were curious to know, put a face behind the scenes. He will be the one dressed up like Asif, a gentleman. Then occasionally you're going to get to see the grizzled old miner / prospector / original last of the good time hippies, me. And it's going to be one of the most unique and different shows you will have seen here at Gem Shopping in a long time. I ask for all of your support, and if you're spiritual, your prayers as well, if not just your good intentions, because what the mind sets in motion, irregardless of spirituality, it can often create things and make things happen that you would have no idea about. It's like a mantra. So wish us all the best, and I hope to see all of you. Now, what I'm going to show you next are not items available to buy today, which would be Monday that you're seeing this show, but they are going to be available in the Thursday show. Now, here's the part. You may want to take down a pen and paper. If you call in during that 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Thursday morning and tell me what the 3 specimens are, because we can't do trivia today, what the 3 specimens are that you're going to get ready to see, that you're going to have an opportunity to buy on Thursday. You tell me what they are, and I am going to give you, I'll show it to you in a moment, something quite valuable for your response and showing that you are right there in support. Chuck, let's show them these 3 crystals first. Now, this is part of the kind of show you're going to see. Like, let's say we're showing the mantoid garnet. Well, wouldn't it be neat to see what it looks like in the rough? Look at this. Now, you don't have to know where it's from, just what it is. This is andradite garnet. In other words, demantoid. The variety is demantoid, which is a variety of andradite, and this happens to be the Namibian material, not the Madagascar. So from the Green Dragon mine. And look at that material. So, not available in today's show, but you're certainly going to be able to buy it in Thursday's show. Look at this, gem grade apatite look at that. Look at the clarity. Beautiful, beautiful classic hexagon shape. And remember, our bones are actually hydroxyapatite. It's piezoelectric. It generates electricity if squeezed like quartz does. This one from Mexico. You're going to get to see apatite gems in Asif's show, in the Great Gem Show, every Thursday morning in the future. And it's always really neat to be able to know what it looked like before it was cut. Finally, look at this. I know so many of you would love to get your hands on that. Perfect dodecahedron. And we always talk about dodecahedron, which is a 12 to 24 sided crystal that is very common to the garnet family. This is true mandarin color from Loliondo, Tanzania. Just a spectacular color and crystal shape. So these three, if you call in on Thursday and say, I mean, you can just say garnet, apatite, garnet, but it'd be neat for you to remember, of course, as part of a little bit of a trivia part today, if you could say demantoid or androdite on that, apatite and spessartine, that would be okay. But I just want to know that you watch this show and are new to watching the new show coming up on Thursday. And for that, let me show you what I'm going to give you. I was going to offer these in a parcel, but I said, no, I am going to give these away. Look at this. This is one of the highest qualities of Madeira citrine there is. Stock material goes back a good 30, 1980, no.
These people call fly.
These, yeah, look at the color. Look at the color. It looks like spessartine garnet. These go back, I can trace how old they are to about 40 years back. So you get one free jet of these Madeira citrines, and they average 2 to 3 carats or so. You can see they're good size, and it's really old material, very expensive. This often, I have seen it go for $100 a carat in today's market. So I have other than these, so I'm not putting, I'm being brave and not putting a limit to the first X number. I want as many of you listening right now, call in those hours, and I will we'll see to it that you get a free Madeira citrine. All right, with that, let's start.
Thank you, Shawn.
It does not include employees of GSN or hosts of the show. But that was very clever. Got to watch for your kind. Okay, here we go. And now, I don't want to say this is the last video cast or podcast, whatever you want to call it, because if it all works out, what we're going to do is then we're going to take that 6-hour show and we're going to plug it into this YouTube channel that you're watching now, and you're going to have another opportunity to where it's not live, where you can sit and rewind and you can write down and you can take in the information at a slower pace. Because let me tell you, when we do that live show, it is not going to be the pace that you see Shawn do this show. Oh, no. No, it is going to be show and go, except with information just coming at you behind the scenes. Information that you won't have heard about before. Not the same old repeat and repeat, parrot and reparrot information. It'll be new, refreshing. I have some stunning carvings too I'm going to bring in. So I'm just excited. Austin and I, we started the show late. It's not going to go as long because we were just sharing ideas back and forth. And let me tell you, all of you watching right now are like the first to get to even hear this information. And I wouldn't even be able to say it if the show came out today. So since it's coming out Monday, it'll be digested a little bit better by everybody else, because I was not privileged with the honor of being asked to be part of his show until this morning. But of course, everything had to go through the right proper channel so that it was all cleared for me to do it. And I am excited. If it, for whatever reason doesn't work for him, or like I said, if we don't get along, then there's this show. We'll still keep this channel open. But no, that is where I took and helped the A show go from one number to 4 and 5 times that number, with Asif having all that years of experience as not only director of production, which means he can do the really cool stuff like put pictures of particular mines that we weren't done before. So if we're showing something, we upload the picture, he knows all the right buttons to push. He's the man to get it done. Watch the show. Just call in, say, Shawn told us we could get a free Madeira citrine if we said garnet, apatite, garnet. Or if you want to show how really you're smart, say andradite, apatite, spessartine. Those will get you an amazing item for free. Okay, let's get started here. All right, so we had 3 questions to the trivia from last week. Let's see, and if I had the right sheet, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it from memory. Let's go. First, Miss Gabby joins in. Greetings, one and all, especially to our newcomers, Karen and Arlene. Such a delight. Truly, both of Karen and Arlene are, for newcomers, couldn't ask for 2 more excited and exciting rockhounds than them. Your enthusiasm and excitement is a breath of fresh air. Welcome, welcome. You've been bringing it these last 2 weeks, Shawn. I got to make sure I read it with the right kind of slang lingo there. You've been bringing it these last 2 weeks, Shawn. Was amazed I was able to get any items as I shopped late. Was able to add to my gemstone knife collection, my crystal pendant collection, which means probably that beautiful tourmaline and, wow. You got that just, okay. Anyway, tourmaline and herpetite, and was so surprised that smoky spessartine microcline thumbnail was still available. That is what is really surprising to me, Miss Gabby, is that thumbnail. Miss Gabby was so wise to get that. That was only $48. You realize how much that would go for in any market? And especially, yeah. Heads up, if you participate in these auctions and actually win an item, I have been playing with bidding up to where I thought I was comfortable, even at a retail level with the price. And last week, 15, I started with, they bid so far beyond, almost twice what I would consider would be a high retail. Then this past week, I tried 5 items. Every one of them, I was outbid on well beyond what I would consider would be the retail. Now, granted, you guys, I'm offering items at such a reduced value that you really need to take advantage of them now. Everything that you see in this show and the last 2 shows will be closed out. In other words, they won't be available. But for right now, those items and today's items are pre-live show. And I'm just going to put it to you in a easy way to understand it. Get them from this show now. It would be really beneficial to buy as many items as you can of what's available. So heads up on that. All right, so let's see. Miss Gabby finishes great. Oh, yeah. So she gets the thumbnail and doubly terminated quartz with tourmaline. Great haul, wouldn't you say? Absolutely. On others, people missed out. Absolutely love that rutile hematite piece and the tricolor tourmaline with the unique quartz and other cool stuff. I know they found fabulous homes. Busy getting caught up with the holiday travel, so going to run. Stay safe and well, everybody. Hugs, Miss Gabby. Back at you there, Miss Gabby, with the hugs. Miss Cindy says, hello, Rock family. Bonitoite. Wow, yeah. You want to see a cool bonitoite crystal cluster? Watch last week's show. Wonderful show, and you keep amazing me with the new items you have been offering. Thank you, Asif, for the longer show. Arlene, Ammonites, awesome. I think the black drapey thing with red hair on your left side is your black backdrop. LOL. Yes, Asif said that it was, and I will take his word. That I did not have a red head, because that'd be tough to explain to Raven since she doesn't have red hair. Going to the Rock and Mineral Club Gentleman's Mineral and Fossil Yard and Garage Sale. I know, you go and get good deals there on Friday. He does this 2 times a year. He always has some nice goodies and at garage sale prices. Yay. The trivia. 1, a scepter. And so the question was, what is the name of a quartz crystal that is narrower at the base than at the top? And the correct answer is scepter. Number 2, answer, ram's horn. And I am thinking that the question was, what is the shape called in the mineral industry for selenite that grows in a curved form? And that is called ram's horn. Number 3 was, what mineral has the same chemical formula as bornite and same iridescence, roughly? And the answer being chalcopyrite. So, okay. So Miss Cindy got them all right. Everyone be safe and wishing a good week to y'all. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Winter is finally here in the 20s at night. No snow, no snow, no snow. My winter mantra. No, that's not what we say down here. We say bring on the snow. A quarter inch will do it. Gets us all out of work and school. That's all you need. We love snow. Mr. Brad, haven't heard from him in a while. Trivia answers, scepter, ram's horn, and chalcopyrite. Very good. To Shawn, the Raven, the Christie Keeper, Osif, Gem Shopping staff, and the whole Rock family, season's greetings to everyone in all of its various forms. Polymorphs of Merry Christmas. I like that. I like that, Mr. Brad. I like using geological terms in your Christmas greeting. The long-awaited moment is coming that occurs far and wide every year when all of us neophyte gem geeks gather and await Miss Gabby's appearance to add a few more painted yellow pine gemstones to her tree. Remember, Summer still offers that, which is Raven's daughter, and she will paint any picture of a mineral specimen or take a picture of your actual mineral specimen, as Miss Gabby has done for many of hers, and Summer paints them on a piece of pine. Have you ever seen that, Chuck? Her do that? You have not seen her paint? Chuck, who is our cameraman, but he's been here, well, I'd say new, except he's been here for years here at Gem Shopping, just hadn't been down here with me. No. Now he is here. Yeah. Now he is. He's my cameraman, and I love it. Because it's been a few years ago, he does amazing woodwork. And of course, all of you know that Raven's one of the last of the real deadheads. I mean, following the Grateful Dead around. That's how I got her jewelry. She would make these little liquid silver and turquoise bead necklaces and stuff, and sit out there in her hippie clothes in the show, and she'd make enough to sell them to buy a ticket to get to the next show or at the next show. And so there's not many. It's tough to run into a true deadhead. So she, of course, loves Grateful Dead, as I always do, and anybody from my generation familiar with their music would certainly enjoy their music. So it's really difficult to surprise her with anything cool, but I had him make, how would you describe that? It was a wood plaque about this far across.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what all was on it? It was all the famous things you would see from the Grateful Dead. Yeah, if you have a picture of it, that'd be really cool. Because I think Chuck could keep busy just doing those. So he wasn't familiar with Summer's painting, which she just paints on this yellow pine, your mineral specimens. And charge is very reasonable. It was like $48 for a small one and like $68 for a bigger one. Miss Gabby, now she said I'm not sure if she did, she was going to keep her tree up all year long, because why not? She has like 20 or 24 or something of them, these ornaments on her tree of all these painted mineral specimens. The only person in the country that would have these. No one else would have them. It was a very creative, refreshing idea that Summer and Miss Gabby ran with it, and Summer just got better at it as she did more of Miss Gabby's specimens, including difficult ones like an opal. So, she'll be happy if you want to. You can just send in the comments or, talk to customer service. However, you know how to get it done, and we'll fix you up with doing that. So we'll see if we can't get you the picture of it, because it is certainly really neat. And I am still the hero because she has it in a very prominent place in the house, and I surprised her, and no one else could have ever given her. And I would not have been able to give her anything as craftsy as that, outside of, if that's a word, outside of anything to do with jewelry, because I work in wood and I carve in balsa wood, but I carve it more of a primitive method, I guess. It looks more like a caricature. I could do carved caricatures, but he did really cool stuff. So anyway, he's looking for the picture now. We'll see if we can't get it up for you. All right, so Miss, let's see. All right. As we continue here, Mr. Brad, so the long-awaited moment is coming that occurs far and wide every year when all of us neophyte gem geeks await Miss Gabby's appearance to add a few more painted yellow pine gemstones to her tree. Since a colleague of yours upstairs has a stage name, the Opal Hunter, I was thinking, Shawn, that you could go with something like the Bubble Hunter. There we go. As Chuck, wow, let me think. That might not go well if I had anything to do with bathtubs or something. Yeah, you know what? It does take time to find those bubbles. Mr. Brad goes on, truly one of the great celebratory moments leading into, oh, that was about the ornaments leading into the new year. Okay, going back to the bubble hunter. That scepter last week had a plethora of anhydrous. It did, and it was all about, there was even bubbles, but it was tough to get the bubbles to move. So again, like I said, if you just use your the temperature of your body, remember most of those crystals are like at 60 degrees. So a 30-degree temperature change is huge for the viscosity of the liquid inside. So you can maybe get that bubble to move, whereas at those colder temperatures you can't. The other thing that I do to see if there's any movement at all is tap it. Just tap it with, put the crystal down against something like wood, and then, stand it straight up if that's the direction that the bubble would move, or sideways, depending on which way you want the bubble to move, and just tap the crystal with something soft. I actually use the rubber end of part of my loop, because I have it while I'm looking at it, and tap and see if I can get it to move. There was only supposed to be one in hydro bubble in that. That was the big one. I found the second one, and then while we were live, I would say live, but in the next Thursday, we'll be able to say live. Yeah. Of course, we won't be able to spend the time quite hunting the bubbles like we could in this show, so do think of that, because we do kind of spend a lot of time having a little fun. We got the bubble to move. We got the bubble to move, which was really cool. So 3 anhydrous out of 1. That means that there's others, especially in that one particular crystal. Okay. So Mr. Brad goes on to say that scepter week had a plethora of anhydrous. Staring at the quartz for too long is mesmerizing. I admit I had to regain my balance. I have to level with you, since I am usually a half a bubble off plumb anyway. You know what? That's funny, Brad. You have that's the same sense of humor Asif has. That's the same kind of stuff. Yeah. Asif just said he loves this Brad guy. So Brad is one of the geeks I have found out. He travels in the circle with Miss Barbara and Miss Gabby and 2 other geeks that do every week do a Zoom thing. And the other ones, they participate in the in buying, I know that, and so big support of the show that way, but haven't quite come out to post or comment or do the trivia yet. But that's just time. That's just time. And we'll have that. So, Brad, you really outdid yourself in your sense of humor this time. So the last line, I have to level with you, since you did see us all trying to, since I am usually a half a bubble off plumb anyway. Wow. And ladies, you may not know that, but levels, and that's, those things to make sure you put your painting up straight across, etc. They have a bubble in the water in them. And so a half a bubble, you can actually calculate if you're a half a bubble off it, how much one end is lower than the other. Anyway, that's carpentry. That's for Mr. Chuck. Did you send him a picture?
Tripod.
Do we have the picture? Can we flash the picture up?
I don't have it yet, but
Okay.
that's exactly how we balance tripod.
Oh, so tripods, which I'm staring at, very expensive one right in front of me, that the tripod itself has more buttons and dials than, a camera would. And that's how they level, I imagine expensive tripods have, is a bubble, which would make sense that they have to do that. Here's my short list for Santa. A shiny dodecahedron in the gravel road ahead sometime this year for each one of you, and world peace. Oh my goodness, I can't believe you just wished that, Mr. Brad. You know what? Before the show, that's what Asif and I were talking about the show and where he wants to take it. And is to connect all of us together through our equal passion of gems and minerals. And, as Asif was telling me, gemstones, jewelry, it is one of the primary things, whether it's an engagement ring or a dowry given in an Indian wedding. It's one of the main things that go across all religions, across all ethnicities, that people I talk about it going back to the caveman days with a bone, a bear claw necklace. Self-adornment is genetically encoded in mankind. Never feel guilty about wanting to adorn yourself. You can't help it. It is genetically ingrained from the very first time we could start walking on 2 feet. And archaeology, paleontology have proved this to be true with finding these ancient bead necklaces drilled and all. I still love mine. So, maybe some men, maybe we are a little bit like a caveman, but we can't help it.
Gold necklaces go well with drug cases, you know?
Yeah. Bling, bone necklaces. You can also associate with a side of everything from gangs to goth and those kind of things. Yeah. Yeah, you can't, you know, there would be no such thing as goth if there wasn't spike collar necklaces and jewelry. Jewelry. All comes down to what is the common denominator, and that is jewelry and gemstones. The metaphysical side of gemstones, wow. So,
The picture is ready.
oh, let's show the picture. Let's show you the picture. This is what I had made. Oh, okay, look at that. So, in the Grateful Dead world, that is called, what is that called?
Steal your face.
A Steal Your Face. I want to make sure I got it right. The Steal Your Face, which is a very famous logo to the Grateful Dead. But then we customized it. The roses are always part of one of the Grateful Dead's themes, as is the daisy, right? You know the albums or what they're associated with? I'm not quite sure on that. But here is the thing that you really probably notice that stands out. Her pug. That was the big, super special thing that really brought the tears out, was when I had her pug, who passed away a couple of years ago. He lived 16 years old. And, you know, his original name was Harley, okay? That was okay, great. You know, Harley Davidson. But when she got to Georgia, he wasn't very old, so she actually changed his name. I think she Georgiaized it. Bubba. Yep. Can't go wrong with calling someone Bubba in Georgia. So that you can see is probably what, like 6.5 feet, maybe 16 inches, 18 inches across. And he used a torch to burn it. Anyway, great. All that is in relief and raised in different heights. And I really scored. Thank you for showing that and pulling that up, because he's one of those artists that won't brag about himself, but I will certainly do some bragging about him for himself. So, okay. On the rest of Mr. Brad's list about the shiny dodecahedron, isn't that funny? I just showed you a shiny dodecahedron, but not in the road. Sorry about that. Brad, then, P.S. and a tooth for Shawn. I know. And now doing the live show, I definitely need Santa to bring me just one to start with. They are so expensive. And you know what? Well, I won't get into that. It was. I had 3 years into my dental insurance, and then it was with a company that's just been mentioned in the news, who unfortunately his leader was just assassinated, basically. But they canceled my policy. Once it finally matured to get the maximum of 50% off, there was just one little glitch in one little late payment, and they used that as an excuse to cancel my policy. Anyway, that's my story. We'll stop that there. All right, Miss Arlene says, hi, Shawn. Wow, where to begin? I can't even begin to tell you how shocked and happy I was when you said I had won again. No way. This is crazy. Like, literally, I never win anything. Now, in 2 months, I have won 3 times with your giveaways. You should have seen and heard my reaction. Okay, so all of you, listen. I'm going to read this the way she would have written it, I think. And I love passion like this. So she goes, now in 2 months, I have won 3 times with your giveaways. You should have seen and heard my reaction. Then, after seeing that the prize is my favorite, ammonites, and remember, she had written how much she loved ammonites. And that is the part of the magic of the show. The magic of the show. It will give you often what it wants you to have, but also what your desires, it knows. I don't know. It's just something really cool. We're going to carry that magic forward into the live show, and you're going to be able to see that live passion, not only of course, myself, but of Asif as well. And man, that guy has passion. And, you know, he knows I've encouraged him because he has everything it takes. He's got the Mediterranean good looks, ladies, by the way. He does. And he's got the smarts. He has listened to all of us hosts over all these years. Yeah. He knows his stuff. Then, my favorite, ammonites. I was unable to contain the excitement any longer. I was doing my very best victory touchdown dance in the living room while yelling out loud as I was telling my husband what I had won. I bet he was wondering, what? What's an ammonite? What are you, a fossil? Like care.
Carving of an ammonite for meat.
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
Um,
You have that one?
Yeah, yeah.
That's actually my little totem symbol, 9 Inch Nails.
oh,
So he actually made a piece for me.
yeah.
Ain't that two worlds come across?
That is. It so much is. We'll see if we have that. Like Karen, my birthday is this month on the 11th. We were just talking about, Asa first wanted to try to do this, his first show on 11/11/24, but it came out to 12/12/24, which, you know how, I'm not a superstitious type person, but I am auspicious, being that, the fourth Chinese in me. A lot of you wouldn't know that, but that's another story. My mom was born in China, Shanghai. And right, that's why when you see retailers, even here at Gem Shopping, they will end their numbers in 1995 or 99. Not me. If you notice, for almost 99%, let's say it's 98%, my prices end in an 8 or 7 or a combination of 7, 8, 8, 7, or 8, 8 or 7, 7. They are auspicious numbers, meaning lucky. 7's, of course, here in America, and the 8 is the equivalent in all of Asia as far as lucky number. So I guess there's a little bit of auspiciousness to my thinking as well. And so we're going to show you the ammonite. Let me know when you're ready on that.
Ready?
Oh, let's show that. Let's show that. Wow. What is the story on this?
The downward spiral.
So you don't look at it as an ammonite?
No, it's an ammonite. It's a picture of an ammonite. That was the album cover.
Oh, the album cover and the band?
Yeah.
What's the name of the band?
Still,
Who?
9 Inch Nails.
Oh, I know them. 9 Inch Nails. Okay. And the name of the album?
downward spiral.
Downward Spiral. So, okay, so was that actually the shape of it? Like it was being, I love that. I love that. They made the shape like it was actually mined out of rough, and they had to probably use an actual one to pull the graphics off of it then.
Yeah, you used the picture.
The actual picture of one.
It looks just like that.
Wow.
Remember? The wall.
Yes.
The wall.
Now I see why. Yes, we did find one. And now I see the significance to it, because I never saw this picture. And although I'm a little more 9 inch.
It's available to do carvings for people. If
Yeah.
you want to send in things.
Yeah. Chuck is available. He's amazing at doing carving.
This hangs on my wall. Like I have a room full of Chuck's stuff.
Do you? So also has a room full of Chuck's artwork, and it is really amazing. Besides that, so his wife needed a
You're up.
Yep. His wife needed a ring size the other day. And of course, I'm not going to charge Chuck. He's done so many wonderful things for me over the years. So instead, just like the old system, the barter system, he said, because they are organic, they have a farm. Remember me, my story, my quail, my pheasants that all got loose, and we did enjoy the eggs from them, and had chickens for a long time. But he has a much more better run farm than I do. He said, well, how about if I bring you some fresh eggs? And I knew instantly what that meant to me, because we had fresh eggs. And if you have never had an egg that was laid the day before, 2 days before, 3 days before, you are missing out. It tastes so different than an egg you get in the store. The color of the yolk, if you make scrambled eggs, the fluffiness of it, the taste, it actually has taste. And let me tell you, I appreciated the eggs more than money at any day, because I knew I would eat them and I need the protein, and I've already lost a bunch of weight because of this. I can't eat everything, but I can eat eggs. That was a great way to pay me back. And now what he just brought me in for no reason, because I thought we were squared up, was ornaments. And complete surprise. So, we're taking this moment on this show because we already started a little late. We're going to get to some goods in just a minute, but, I've got the live show coming up. So I just want to be me in this show. And Asif, that's one of the greatest things he's always been as a director. He has So, okay, let me add this. Any of the shows you see by any of the vendors, Asif has allowed the vendors to have complete, within reason, control of what they show, how they show it, who they, how they display it. Lets them create a show the way they want to create it. Now, to me, that means the outcome of the show should rise and fall on the vendor. But unfortunately, too many times, the blame is put on, the director of production, when it shouldn't have. He doesn't micromanage. He expects us as adults, as professionals in our industry, to put on a show that all of you want to watch. If the vendor fails on bringing in people to watch them, it should not be his fault. I would not want someone to micromanage my show. I want to have the freedom to bring you the kind of show that you so have enjoyed. And the numbers bespeak it for the subscribers and the views on the videos. So I am so grateful to him for that. And now I'm going to be really grateful to kind of be behind the scenes with him and let Asif be Asif, which is an amazing producer, director, and friend. Look at this. Speaking of friends.
Wow.
Grateful Dead stuff. Look at this. Look at this. And all hand done. And,
Well, in my bag. Exactly.
and look at that. So, and for those of you Grateful Dead fans, you would recognize those, the dancing bears. So very, very cool. Oh, step on in. Awesome.
No, there you go. I'm not gonna.
All right. Well, he's going to step in soon enough. Look at this. Look at this.
Nice note.
Look at this. How cool. Oh, and Tool. So Tool is a band, for those of you that don't know, and Asif's a big Tool fan. He's got a great Tool
You have
story.
the tool carving one? Sorry, that's the perfect circle one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this the way they do their logo? Nine Inch Nails is like that?
Looks like
So Nine Inch Nails with the reversed N, which I didn't know. So that's the way they do their logo. He did those for you. How cool. How cool. I know. His Tool story is one that he needs.
Tree.
He has got a great Tool story. Isn't that the band you went to not long ago and were by yourself in that secluded...
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go any further than that. That's right. All right. Okay, so here, let me finish. Let's see. Okay, Miss Karen goes on to say, happy birthday, Karen. Oh, no, this is Miss Arlene talking to Karen. Like Karen, birthday is this month, so everyone's got a birthday in December. You know what? I won't say the date, but including Asif. Asif has a birthday coming up on the 11th. This will be the best gift ever. I love it when someone says it's the best gift ever or best day ever. Happy birthday, Karen. I hope you have a great one. I know you will once you see those kyanites. Remember, Karen is the one that got the free kyanites for being just someone who left a comment, is a promotion I did. And she was so excited that she saved them until her birthday to open them. I love that kind of passion. Thank you again, Shawn. I truly appreciate you and the show, Miss Arlene. Miss Arlene participates now in the contest. This week's trivia contest, number 1 is a scepter. You're getting that one right. Ram's horn is number 2. I've heard it called a wand or / log by a friend. She is a beautiful one that's almost 10 inches long. That is a beautiful one. That is very long. In general, though, it's not a log. Or called, I'm not familiar with those references to it. The ram's horn is probably a closer actual physical reference to them. Number 3, chalcopyrite is also called peacock ore, which, by the way, I just found my first specimen of it last month. Now, peacock ore is absolutely, I see it associated with chalcopyrite all the time. Originally, peacock ore was about bornite, is what bornite was called. But with the use of chemicals on chalcopyrite, they've been able to create iridescence. Now, natural iridescence occurs also, but they've been able to enhance iridescence. And so the use of the word peacock ore has strayed over into the world of iridescent chalcopyrite. But originally, peacock ore related to bornite, which if you see bornite, it's very distinctly more of a purple blue, more of like the color of peacocks than chalcopyrite, the iridescence to chalcopyrite. Great picture. So she goes on, LOL, talking about gold fever, I saw that chalcopyrite and just knew I hit it big, LOL. I have tried panning a few times, nothing came of it other than a tiny, tiny bit of flour gold. There is nothing wrong with a tiny, tiny bit of flour gold. They are able to extract that. I actually have a mercury retort, which is like a mercury distiller that is terrible in third world countries, unless you use a retort, because what it does, it amalgams the gold that is bound, often flour gold binds to the little black sand. And so when you put mercury on it all, mercury is one of the very few elements, that and chlorine, that gold will actually combine with. So it combines into the mercury and it's called an amalgam at that point. You know, all the iron and all won't. So then you have your ball of mercury, right? Your liquid mercury that we all played with as a kid and never should have touched the stuff. Yeah, some bad science going on there with thermometers and kids and mercury, because every time a mercury thermometer broke in our household, it was, hey, I broke a thermometer, you want to come play with the mercury? My mom, you know, it's like keep kids busy, you know. No one told us how dangerous that stuff was, how horrible. Nor asbestos, remember? I mean, you know, and then everyone finds out, and lead paint, those three come right off the bat. All right, so mercury, amalgam. So then what you do, and what they do in third world countries, is they burn off the mercury, and it burns off at a very low temperature, and what it will leave behind is strictly the little ball of gold. If you have a mercury retort, when the mercury evaporates and converts to a gas, it looks exactly like a miniature still. It cools the mercury down in the coiled wire, and then it drips back out as a liquid, and everything is safe. You keep the mercury, nothing goes into the environment. Well, not many people have one of those. I have one of those, and if I want to do all my black sand that way. So that's how you recover flour gold. If you have flour little gold, oftentimes you can find big gold, just in different places. Now, I saw the picture of your chalcopyrite. I would have been just as excited as you. That was really neat to see, and I'm not able to pull the picture up. But if you want to take, and let me ask the guys as I say this, she was wanting, Miss Arlene was wanting to be able to take a still picture out of a video. Can she not stop the video, guys, and take a screenshot of it?
Yep.
Okay, so talking to two people that do cameras for all their life and living. So Miss Arlene, on the video, all you have to do is stop it on the exact frame that you want, and then just hit, for my phone, it's 2 different buttons to do a screenshot. And I always accidentally take a screenshot of the screen, trying to silence my phone, you know, because I hold it on either side, and then, anyway. That's all you have to do. Then just do a screenshot and you'll have the picture. But I saw your video of that chalcopyrite piece, and what a great specimen. Leave it like it is. And I don't blame you for being fooled about it for gold for a minute. I wanted to share a photo of the chalcopyrite with you, but I'm not sure how to take a still from a video. I'm attaching it with hopes your amazing crew there.
Yeah, play it on her phone and then take it.
Yep. So also said to play it on your phone, stop it right on the frame, exact frame you want, and then take a screenshot of it.
You have an iPhone and press the volume up and the power button together.
That's the one. If you have an iPhone, the volume up button and the power button. And yeah, that's exactly the one. It's right across from the power button. I take a screenshot of my screen all the time. So don't feel bad if you do that. So the guys I was hoping would have the right answer, and certainly right time to ask it. I'm attaching it with hopes your amazing crew there can. You will have to look closely. It's small, but for me it was a big find. That's not small. That was a great find. I also sent a couple of the skeletal quartz that I talked about last week. I hope you enjoy them as much as I did. Thank you again for the amazing show, Miss Arlene. Yes, absolutely I did, and I saw the skeletal quartz, but your chalcopyrite, what a great find that was. Oh yeah, let me see. Here's the other thing, Chuck. Let's see.
Third eye.
The third eye. And the frame?
Yep.
Wait, what about all those squiggly lines and stuff? You did all that?
Yeah. Yeah, the squiggly line all the way up.
So was that you taking the router and just randomly doing that yourself? That pattern?
All handmade.
Completely handmade. So all the squiggly lines are by taking a drill router and randomly going, and it looks like, you know, trying to find a Where's Waldo maze. So right, that looks so real, but it's two-dimensional, I guess, but it looks three-dimensional. Yeah, it's got depth.
And then this is the perfect circle.
Wow.
They know.
That looks so old. Yeah, that looks like something from you would dig up an archaeological find.
They're in my bedroom, like across from me every day. I wake up.
Wow. And so both of those are in his bedroom across from him. He wakes up every day looking at them. So wait, so the blue on the left, what is that? No, that one. The blue.
This is the frame, so it ends right there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's, okay, I see. So it's, okay. So can I ask you what that says?
Make sure they know.
Say again?
Make sure they know.
Mikle de Don?
Make sure they know.
Is that
It's what is it? Latin? Yeah. Latin.
oh, what does it mean?
Perfect.
Perfect circle?
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool. No, I didn't know you had those kind of neat artworks from Mr. Chuck as well. So you see, I am amongst some very talented folks. Miss Barbara in Brooklyn. Hi, Professor Shawn, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Well, that was one generous cornucopia of a show. What a selection of 20 interesting items and upgraded samples of things you sold in the past. As you said, getting to the good stuff just in time for Asif's new show. And that's why I showed you those 3 crystals to give you just a little taste of some of the excitement you're going to see coming up. And there's one more, and I'll show it to you after a bit. Okay. As you said, getting to the good stuff. I snagged the smaller gold specimen. I had just watched a video of Lois at Cristal. Wow, at Cristal, they would know how she preps their spectacular California leaf gold in quartz specimens. So the timing was perfect. I already have a large Brazil rutile star in quartz cabochon, and your piece shows what the stars look like before being enveloped by the quartz. Score both. Seriously neat stuff. And one of a kind. Don't have another. And that was great, Miss Barbara. Very clever of you to get the before and after of a rutile star. Great piece. Welcome to our newcomers. We are friendly, we do not bite, and it's always great to add new perspectives to keep things fresh. Let's hear what you all have to say. And don't forget to participate for great prizes in our educational competition, which is a great segue to, as to the trivia, the crystal with the narrower base is called a scepter. I like the quartz from Hallelujah Junction. Curved selenite is a ram's horn. The mineral with the same elements and iridescence as bornite, copper, iron, and sulfur, is chalcopyrite. And I have a question about chalcopyrite spheres. IROX has been exclusively offering clusters of perfectly round and iridescent spheres from the Tonglution, China, since 2019, which look too darn good to be natural. What's your real take on them? Real or Memorex? Well, yeah, they would have sent up my alarm bells as well, especially due to the color. The color looks so much more like bornite, but when you're talking about copper, iron, and sulfur, it takes only slight other ores to enter that kind of environment, whether gaseous or liquid or in any form. And you can get some really weird oxidations on the surface, just strictly, and only nanometers thick, just really just an oxidation. So these happen to be a group of chalcopyrites that were just touching each other and could very much look counterfeit because nothing else had ever been found like that. But as the story goes and as the science goes behind them, they are the real thing and just something else not found anywhere else. But for something to naturally create a sphere like that is very rare in nature. And hard to find. Now, here's something else talking about the round spheres. I'm going to tell everybody, for those of you in the past, I have sold agarine in prehnite from Mali. Those agarine and prehnite specimens, especially with the nice round prehnite, are about 4 to 5 times what they were when I sold them. And I was talking to Asif about that, because we're not supposed to talk about anything as an investment, but we can talk about my own personal experience in value created. The relative return on the value of specimens I see, not still what I'm selling them for, but what the market is offering and what they're going for in auctions. As my dad always said, something's only worth what someone's willing to pay for it, and auctions are a sign. It's crazy how expensive and how much specimens that I sold 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, the relative cost of the same identical type of specimen now is well beyond any return you had in the same period of time if you put your money in any other investment vehicle, whether it be the Dow Jones, stocks, whatever. It has been that growth. Because remember, mineral specimens can't be recreated. They're one of a kind. Nature created them. And you can't just go and find more. So those Molly, Prehnite, and Agarines, wow, I gave them away compared to the value of them now. Just another little curious mention about that. We finally got rain. Now cold and higher temperatures, even snow. They lit the tree in Rockefeller Center tonight, and Santa brought up the rear at the Turkey Day Parade. Guess winter is officially here. Pumpkin spice makes way for peppermint candy canes. Raven can't believe it, but I do not like peppermint candy canes. This group, nor candy corn. She can't believe it. I said, oh, I cannot stand candy corn. This group would probably be happy to receive a stone in their Christmas stocking hung by a fire. Enjoy the season, never forgetting the reason for the season. Happy winter all. Yeah, I am. I would be, Charlie Brown had it all around. If he showed his appreciation and love for that piece of coal that he got, they wouldn't give it to him again. Because remember, they want to be mean to Charlie Brown. So you don't give him something that he wants. So if he wanted candy, it's kind of that reverse psychological thing. For me, I would be able to help my excitement if someone gave me a rock. It would be like, where's it from? What kind of rock is it? Let me get a loot. Let me see, And then they would be probably kicking me down the steps of the front door. But some people, rocks are it for me. I'm one of those. Okay, so let's see. Did we covered everybody, I think. And since we cannot, I was going to do a what is it today, but we can't really do that with the new show. We are going to be giving away items, though, in the new show. And remember, starting off with, remember those 3 specimens. Call in on the Thursday, 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. Asif's new show starts. I will be a behind-the-scenes sidekick with amazing mineral specimens and things that you have not seen before. And also then, of course, gems, jewelry, beautiful, beautiful pieces. Now, let's see. So we had people with the same answer. When we do that, we assign a name to a number to a name, and then get someone to randomly pick a number. And the magic of the show happens from there. I'm just making sure I didn't leave anyone out. And I did it. So this week, that winner, after I remove the crystals and the Madeira citrines. Whose?
Gary's birthday,
Oh, yes.
December 11th.
December 11th. Miss Karen, happy birthday to you, if I don't get to speak to you before that or anything. But you need to make sure you join the show. I know you will, because you guys want to get those free stuff. So Miss Arlene and Miss Karen, I want to hear you join the show. Let me show you what Mr. Brad has won. Yep, Brad, you are the winner this week. Check it out. Check it out. This is not your everyday tumbled stones. No, I tumbled them myself, which makes them special in their own right. But aquamarine. Aquamarine. And very nice quality and color tone. And natural color. Natural color. You can still see some green hints in it. So beautiful, beautiful. When you look at aqua, look, you can see the crystal shape to that. And you have a color this intense of a blue that is a natural color, then it's something special. And just to show you, that was on black. Let me show you on white. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And so when you go to gem shows and this is what they'll use. They'll dump these crystal specimens out and into a white tray, and everything always looks so gorgeous. So there you go. Congratulations. All right, I'll be right back with the start of a show. Okay, I know you're going to call me just a mean teaser, but I couldn't help it. One more flash item. Not going to offer this in today's show, but this is another example of what you're going to be able to get in Thursday morning in the A show, 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. And I'm talking about, okay, you're seeing this show on Monday, right? I'm only talking, you don't have to wait all the way to next Monday. No, just a few days, Thursday morning, 3 a.m. to 9, and you're going to get a shot at buying pieces like this and some of those other rarities. Look at this. Look at the size of this. This is what would be considered a medium to a mini cabinet-sized specimen, but the quality. Look at this natural color aquamarine. This is why, you know, aquamarine stands for and is named, and it easily translates to seawater. Aqua and marine means seawater because they named aqua that color because it's the color of seawater. That's the color when it comes out of the ground. That's the original color. Most aqua. Now, there is natural, beautiful blue aquamarines that are found that way, but the original name was based on this exact color. I see more seawater this color than ever blue. This is stunning because then, right now, if I heat treated this, which of course I know how to do aqua. I've done a lot of heat treating of aquas. I could make this specimen turn a gorgeous blue. A lot of people would like that. And technically it may be add value, but is it the way it came out of the ground? No. I'm a purist if I have a opportunity to be, and in this case I do. I can heat treat it or not. I'm not. Look at this. This is why it's so special. Okay, for one thing, the Raven's birthstone is March, is aquamarine here. My birthstone is garnet. Look at this Specimen garnet. This is super rare. These are external garnets. You also have muscovites. Now, I did not look at this one for possible anhydros, but I do know someone. Look at the ear, the iris in here as well. Now, the only person I know with a specimen, anything like this, it's bigger. And it has internal anhydros and internal spessartines. Miss Gabby has. This is, I would have to say, the next nicest aqua specimen I've ever offered. Here's another really interesting thing. Yes, look at these, what look like tubes down to a crystal at the end of them. That is stunning. Stunning. And how or what, look at that, how or why that exactly occurred, I'm not completely sure. This is why you have fun. You get a beautiful specimen like this and look at it for hours and hours and hours. There is so much to feature in this. Anyway, I'm going to talk about this again another day. This is just one way to get you to watch the show, bring you in, because if you're not mesmerized by that, I'm not sure what quite would do it. Now, let's offer you something that you can buy. Item 1, 2, 3, 23, 24. 1, 2, 3, 23, 24. And as a reward to all of you watching this show, I don't want to say it's the last of this show. There's still going to be other, the shows plugged into this time slot, and who knows what else we'll do. So this is all kind of a little bit experimental, but certainly Asif is not the type built to fail, and I do not have a record of doing that either. So it's going. Yep, let me give that to you again. It is item 1, 2, 3, 23, 24. And hopefully that pulls up something that all of you are going to love. Okay, let me look at that with a stronger magnification, which new glasses and teeth are in the order for in the future. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 4. Okay, so here is what everyone is looking at right here. Check it out. A Brazilian phantom quartz, 140 carats, 30 by 20 by 18. Polished crystals. Now, 10 phantoms I counted, and you're going to get to see those in just a moment when Asif gives me the clearance. Okay, check it out. All right, now, I'm going to show you the aqua in my hand just so you get an idea of just look at how big that is. Look at how big that is. And stunning clarity. Okay, here we go. Look at this. And Chuck's going to like stuff like this because some of these items he's like never seen for the first time. Okay, 10 phantoms. Now what this going on here, Chuck, is this is when a crystal, due to most likely, a lot of people use the word dust, but a lot of times it's chlorite. You get an impurity on the surface of the crystal, causing the crystal to halt its growth. Then additional growth or silicon is available at some other point and continues the growth. And it repeats this pattern. And you can count how many times the crystal has started and stopping by counting the phantoms. Now, I roughly counted 10, and that is counting these lines. I would believe that there's probably more than 10. Here's the neat thing. Because of the optics of the crystal, and these are natural sides to the crystal that just have been polished, so you can see inside better. It is at each different angle, you get a different look. Look at this. See this? You can see the starting and stopping along that side.
We have a Portraits of Solitude Superman.
Portraits of Solitude Superman?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. So this is simply, there's no little boo-boos. It's very sharp edges for one. These are mostly always, a lot of them Brazilian. And look at that. Look at that. That is so optically,
Yeah.
look at that. You get a cross-check pattern just from it bouncing around. Here's a negative impression from where another crystal had grown up against there. But look at that. So in this, I think that's probably the best angle because you can see both sides here, and then you can see the middle growth there. Look at, wow, there it is. There it is. There's the shot to take a screenshot of. It shows it all. That's beautiful. Okay, anyway, it also has a smoky quartz color to the quartz itself. Here is, for all of you, as a reward, $24 for having been so faithful to this show. Carry that faithfulness on to the live show, and you will continue to be rewarded. Let's look at item number 1209324. This is another reward price I'm making on this one. Look at this. Look at this one. And this is some beautiful greenish blue Afghanistan tourmaline from the Lagman deposit. Now, those are tourmalines, often looking very much like aquamarines when it's this color. And then you have lepidolite mica, which is the lilac color, and then often the white. You can see the white material lepidolite also. Muscovite can actually be white as well, but you definitely see all the lilac. Look at all the lilac or colored lepidolite. And then the white on the lilac, that may be muscovite on lepidolite. But then, let's see. Remember, you look for that kind of triangle shape for tourmaline, six-sided shape for aquamarine. You can see the two colors mixed. This is a beautiful cluster, and it has that look of a super expensive specimen, which it would be if it was just larger. So, and I have on here possible aqua, which is going to make it fun for all of you, meaning I think that there is an aquamarine crystal on here somewhere, and it is up to all of you, whoever gets this, to find it. I was kind of looking for it now, but you know what? Some of the fun is more about letting you guys find it. I have a question mark there, so maybe I wasn't completely sure. But usually if I do that, meaning there's an aqua there, and it took me time to hunt it up, and at the moment, I'm not. Look at it, look at that. That just displays so attractively at so many different angles. I'm still wondering where that aqua is. Anyway, hey, how about this? If that went up for auctions, at these auctions I see, you know, I would be willing to pay retail for that, probably about $118, $128, something like that. These are, let me show you the size of it. These people in these auctions, they don't know where to stop. They'll bid, maybe that reflects the actual value. Something like this would be bid up to upwards of $200 with no problem. Maybe they just have better clients willing to pay that kind of money. How about this? This is at a discounted opportunity for all of you at only $48. I kid you not, $48. And so if I can recommend it, don't wait any longer. Don't wait. What you see in this show, you need to buy in this show. Because, you know, depending on what time of the morning, we may have, you know, some items. We actually, here's a little secret. We may be bringing back those gem tube specials. For those of you who've been around watching long enough, yeah, that they are a treat. So look forward to that. There'll be some times when we do that. And if you don't know what we're talking about, you got to wait and watch the show. And you will love when we do. We called them closeouts at the time. They weren't really closeouts. They were new gems that we just discounted and put in the gem tube trays, and we sell them just as fast as we show them in that case. And the deals are going to be amazing. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you another item here that I have a lot of special items for this show that I set out. Item 1229 124. 1229 124. Look at this. Look at this. This is, all right. So it could be called a scepter because you see how the base of this is narrower than the top. It could also be called doubly terminated because you see this, there's a termination to the end of that crystal there, and it comes, let me get my pointer, and it comes over to a termination here. Then when you look at these, wow, did you see that iris there? Look at that iris for a moment. That's gorgeous. When you look at these sidecar crystals, if that's kind of what they are, you can follow them, and they also will have a termination on one end and then others at the other end, even if they are intergrown with the main crystal. Look at that iris in there. Now, let me tell you something about these crystals. I didn't have the time, but these are the kind you look for. Look at those irises, 4 anhydros. Yeah, this type of crystal definitely lends itself to finding anhydros in it, and that is where you have to have the fun. But let me show you the key. What you have to have is you have to backlight them. So you have to have light behind them, and then at the same time, or at particular angles, you have to move them back and forth in every different possible direction, and then if you're lucky, you get to see a bubble move. I didn't have time to do that, so remember, we found 2 on the show in that one crystal the other week, so it is absolutely possible when I don't take time to try to find them myself. So you're going to buy this at the, I'm offering this. This is from Diamantina, which means, of course, diamond, Brazil. Of course, you can see why. So very similar to like the Herkimers, except they're smoky quartz color. And I am doing this as a special, believe it or not. Never have shown it before, but I am doing that for only $98. And if you follow any of the pricing on items like that, wow. They go really, really high. I actually had this priced up more than that, really, for the market. But I just marked it down because, you know, I don't want what I see the value of these really going for to affect what I'm charging or asking you now for them. And so, because if that went into one of these auction deals, I'm not kidding you. It is just crazy how much people will bid items up, and if that is how you determine the value of them, then I am selling these items way below the market. Now, $98 on that. Let's look at, you're going to love this, item 122.94.24. 122.94.24. Here is a combination crystal. Well, okay, it's not quite the one. Let me think here. Yeah, all right, well, I have another cool one. This one is called Venus hair. Venus hair. And that is when you have, look at that, rutile needles that are so thin and fine. That is one of the names given to specimens like this. Now, when you see the surface of this, this is what, let me get my pointer again. This is what I'm talking about that can stop the growth of a quartz crystal. Layers of impurities like that. Now, these you can actually see, unusually enough, it's chloride, but they're actually in kind of a crystalline form, which you often don't see with chloride. Now, look at the rutile, the Venus hair. That's the rutile that's really fine and thin. And this is, all the sides are polished to the natural crystal. Look at that. And then you have chlorite here as well. Look at how beautiful that is. So at any angle, this displays and shows marvelously. Super opportunity on that one. I mean, a really super opportunity. How about this? Only $28. Look at that. Look how big that is. Only $28. And that one, look, that is just really, really a showy specimen. Now, I have, oh my, so much. Okay, oh yeah. Item 1, okay, wait, no, let me tell this differently. Item 1198, 324. 1198, 324. Now, most, if not everybody except me, would call this piece, well, this particular one looks more so than another one I'm going to show you. Anyway, let me show you. You're going to love it. Labradorite. Labradorite. I showed you a piece of spectrolite last week or the other week that was from Finland, which is stunning. You know, that's on a darker base color and often with really vibrant color tones to it. Now, when you look at this piece, you think, oh, but the color stops there. Well, no, because I think more of the person cutting this piece would not leave that there. So what I do when I see something like that, I'll turn and I'll turn until boom, there it is. That's why whoever initially cut this piece did not remove that bottom part, because look at that. All it takes is catching the right angle. My goodness. And there you have it. Oh, in many different angles, actually. Probably more so than the top part. I like this also because it is the natural background, and you can actually see the crystalline faces of the feldspar. And then look at that. Look at that. Isn't that neat? So I have this marked down, sale priced, and a great opportunity for anyone that wants in on a really showy piece of labradorite. And I am going to offer that. Oh, I don't know. Let me see. How many carats is that? 105 carat piece. 105 carat piece. That sounds like it should be show special pricing, $18. $18 on that one. Now, oh, look at this. Yep. Item 122, 8324. 122, 8324. Now, I was going to save these for the live show, but I thought, no, I'm not going to cheat you guys out of anything that I had planned. Of course, Asif may say, yeah, you got any more? But yeah, I have more. I have more I'm going to show in the live show, because look at this. In the olden days, we would take these and we would put them in a gem tube individually and sell them individually. Well, that is not how we're going to sell these. I am offering these as a parcel price, and by buying them in quantity, that gets you a discount. I am trying to wrap this labradorite up, doing multitasking, which, oh, that's the other thing. The other thing. That's probably the most exciting thing. Actually, Asif was going to talk to Raven first before me, because I think he wanted her before more than he wanted me to join the show, because she is so good about bandaging my hand up when I cut it from the gemstone knives and I'm bleeding to death. She is so good at keeping up notes for the show, and she is really good at getting the right item back in the right bag. That's really needed, because sometimes I have everything scattered out. I don't have a right-hand man like, when I lost her, that was a lot. So I get that back. All right, look at these. Look at these. Okay, so we have, and these are not small. Look at the size of this aqua, and that is clean. It is well cut. When you see these, look at this. Wow. Shawn, can I take this out? Can I remove this? Look at that. That is like Santa Maria color. I am not kidding you. And look at this, a round aqua. That is one of the, the cuts that uses up more material than, that's why a lot of cutters don't do that. Look at a marquee shape. Look at this other round aqua, pear shape. That, and of course I have a refractometer and checked all these for authenticity. Look at these stones. This is an amazing opportunity. Okay, at 10.45 carats, you know, a lot of the prices you see, they'll say $100 a carat. Okay, that'd be a $1,000 parcel. Well, no, I'm not like that. Okay, at $50 a carat, that's much more reasonable. You're talking about $522 for those, which there's 14 stones. That is a very fair price across the board because of the clarity. And you can see a little grinting and the cutting. And then this jewel alone carries a lot of value all by itself. Here we go. If I make those, yeah, you know, this is where it gets kind of silly. Okay, I'm going to offer those. Let's do this. Since, again, rewarding all of you, and hopefully you'll come to the live show, because you're going to get to see opportunities like I'm getting ready to price these out right now. How about this? I can't believe the words are going to come, the numbers are going to come out of my mouth. But again, special deal. 11, doing math in my head, dangerous thing. I just can't get it less than $108. $108. I was trying to do $98, but there's just no way I could get to $98. $108. And, you know, that puts it at like $10 a carat. $10 a carat. That one aqua is worth it alone. Those 3 rounds are worth it alone just for that. That one big one is worth that alone. Yeah. So don't expect that parcel to be around. Now, here we go. Here we go. Let's look at item 1227, 324. 1227, 324. And we'll just, sticking with, you know, actually, let me leave those there for a moment because it'll be a good comparison. Sticking with beryl, the beryl family. When beryl has no color, it's its natural color. It is impurities that cause aqua to be the color that it is. If you take the iron impurities out of aquamarine, you have the natural color to beryl, which is goshenite. Clear, colorless beryl, named after Goshen, Massachusetts, which was its original discovery, which I think is kind of bizarre. And it was on the Barris farm in Hampshire County. If you look now, there's nothing there. It's just not much of anything. But that was quite a while ago. So remember, beryl is just a beryllium aluminum silicate, and the white goshenite, it is more rare for it to be colorless than it is to have some kind of color to it. Golden, you know, you have, of course, your morganite, your pink beryl. Look at this crystal. And in this is a rare to have, from Namibia, to have siderite. Siderite is a iron carbonate. Remember, it is the iron version. And now that I turn this, you can see plain and clear that those crystals are not like you would expect the shoral, like the long shoral crystals or the triangular shape to them. No, you can see that they have a monoclinic or cubic type of form to them. Completely different. Look at the clarity to that. That is a facet grade. Look at that. That is facet grade. And let me show it in my hand. That would cut a large, very clean stone. And wow, that is, if you wanted to mess up a beautiful, look at that termination, beautiful natural crystal with those very unique and rare siderite crystals. Look it up. Very rare from the Caribbean deposit. Now look at this lengthwise one. This is stunning, also facet grade, but you have the aesthetics of a long crystal. Put the two side by side in a display and you have something special. You have something special. Facet, if you dare, that beautiful crystal, and you'd have a extremely valuable goshenite. Hold on, I'm trying to do something cutesy here. It's not working out. This is where someone like, you know, Raven would do it beautifully. Just there we go. See, something like that as a display in a cabinet. I mean, this is how my brain thinks. So look at this. I mean, look at the colors. Okay, yeah, maybe some of you would like the beautiful blue, and most people do, but there's something special about clear, pure, no impurities barrel. And that's what you get in the Goshenite. Price on this, the two crystals is a beautiful, beautiful rarity, and I'm offering the two of them for only $88. Only $88. And again, put something like that up into an auction situation and, you know, watch the value fly. I love those. I just love those. Let me see what else I have. Okay, now let's look at item 1227 424. I went ahead and offered and did something special. You know, I like to try to cover and provide for every price point when possible, but this is a special show, so I'm digging a little deeper. I have another set of two that I'm offering, another set of two Goshenites. Yes, sir. That would be item 1227 424. And here is something else, and that is there's some fluorescence to some aspects of these crystals, and that is always interesting. So look at these. All right, now this one, look at that wonderful muscovite. That's why I said, remember, you could have a white muscovite as opposed to, a lot of people would say lepidolite, but no, you can have a white muscovite like that. And then you have a black shoral tourmaline crystal. Look at that. So you have this is aesthetically gorgeous. Look at that tourmaline, you know, underneath the mica, and then look at how well formed the six sides are to the crystal. Self-displays beautifully. Has a fantastic termination. Look at the clarity to that. Facet grade. And then this one, beautiful form as well. So another opportunity. Someone want to get in on those two at 11 karat. I am going to make those only, how about this? $48. $48. And I mean, try to find something else that kind of price. Let me show you next. Item 1227 324. 1227 324. And here is the last parcel I have of Goshenite crystals I put together. Yeah, I was willing to let go of, be able to put 3 parcels of these together. True Goshenite. And it's rare. It's rare to find colorless aqua. And then look at the siderite. So there's more siderite. And when you see the siderite like that, that is a rare, you can see also the siderite being an iron carbonate. That's what's creating the rust type of look, not only on the crystals itself, but bleeding into the aquamarine. Now you do have one long crystal there that is most likely shoral tourmaline. But look at, I mean, that is facet grade. That is facet grade Goshenite. And what you're seeing is surface crystals are reflected back through them. Same on this one. This one has a little bit of a, look at that. That is rare, considered very rare to have those siderite crystals like that on these specimens. Look at the facet grade quality to these. And then look at, they may even have internal crystals, or those are external crystals bleeding through. Either way, fun to look at, rare to own, and the siderite makes it easily definable as to where they came from, but greatly enhances the collectability and how unique they are. to, there we go. See, I'm doing weird stuff like that until they just fall exactly the way I would want them to display them in a fancy picture. Anyway, hey, the mica has is pink under long wave fluorescence, so that's pretty neat. So any mica you see on these, look for it to be fluorescent pink on this. Price on these guys, I am going to offer these two with that siderite. It makes them way much more, but anyway, deals abound at the moment. Only $78 for the two crystals. Only $78 for the two. Kind of random pricing. I don't know if one's more value compared to the next, but that's the way I'm rolling today. Here, I have one. I was surprised no one bought it. $12.17, $624. $12.17, $624. If anybody has a sapphire and opal birthstone, they have to get this ring. Can you believe this ring did not sell? This is, look at this opal. Look at the sapphires. It's sterling silver. Look at all those opals. Asif, I'll give it to you at a really good deal if you want it. I don't even have to show it. Sterling silver. And, you know, it's my mom's birthstone and my son's birthstone, but it's a lady's ring. Sapphire, September birthstone. And look at the color in this. I offered this piece for $21 and no one bought it. I know. You know, I should save this, shouldn't I, Asif?
Yeah. We'll sell it upstairs.
Yeah. It's good. Can we pull it right now?
Yeah. Just tell them this will be up for auction, starting at $100 to open.
You know, you're exactly right. So can we pull it out of today's show?
Hey, if they don't buy it by Thursday.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Since that's a fair thing. $21. If it's not bought by Thursday, you're right, Asif. You're right. That one is a perfect one to go up in auction. Look at the opals with all the color and the sapphires. And the sapphires are a nice color. It's sterling silver. There's no stones broken. It's original. It's beautiful. $21. After that, you're right. Also, yeah, that would be $100 to open kind of ring. Not that we're going to be pricing be expensive like that, but that's the kind of value in that piece that's there. That's remarkable. Okay, I am going to show something in this show that I could easily wow and amaze in the next show. I'm going to go with a lot of Asif's lead on things like this because he would know in other shows. This is something I don't know. If epidote is shown in any other shows, epidote can be faceted. Epidote can be a rare, beautiful gemstone. But if people aren't familiar with it, then, you know, Asif doesn't want a show where I have to, you know, educate everybody about everything unless I'm showing items as I go. So that said, I am going to offer what I'm getting ready to show you. You have never seen in this show, in any of my shows. The quality of the specimen I'm getting ready to show you is outstanding and well above anything else I've shown before. This is an alpine cleft epidote crystal specimen. And look at this. Let me show it to you in the proper way. Bring this up, remove this, and let me show you. Look at this. So this is what they call an alpine cleft specimen. And those are the type specimens that come from the high above even the tree line in the Shigar Valley. And there's a kind of a line of extending miles, of course, of pegmatites that they've discovered, and they have found amazing specimens. Now, here's what makes this epidote piece so special. I'm going to put a little backlight behind it so you can really see it for what it is. The clarity. The clarity, for one thing, stands out because epidote almost is always has some amount of a lot of inclusions. Look at this. This is actually a facetable epidote crystal. Now, it also has, if you can see, a bit of dichroism, changes color with the direction that you look at it. But here's the most important thing that tells you where it's from, and it's called a Fodden crystal. Did we pull up the info? Did I give you the info? No. Oh, sorry about that. I was too busy talking about item. This is item, yeah, I didn't. 123-1624. 123, 1624. 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16, 24. 1, 2, 3, 16 Faden crystal, and if you remember back to quartz, is a word given that means, it's a German word for thread. And this is a classic Faden when you have the thread. In other words, a type of inclusion that extends through multiple crystals. And it makes it additionally rare and also is very helpful in discerning exactly where it's from. Now, you can see what they call the Faden line, the thread line, extending through more than one crystal. And this isn't a break. It's not like a flaw, technically a flaw, but here we go. Here's a much better look. Oh, and I can stand it up for itself for a minute. There is the Faden line. And when it extends through multiple crystals, then you know it's just not a fluke, that this is what is determinate as being a genuine Faden crystal. Now, this only occurs in what they call the alpine clefts, in the Alturia alpine type Cigar Valley, and it is beautifully rare epidote. We mostly only see it as thin needles as an inclusion in quartz. I decided not to show it in the new live show. I wanted to show it in this show. It is the finest epidote crystal cluster I have ever offered, and I like looking at it just like that. And it just is very striking. How about this? I am offering that. And this is one of those that, again, put in one of these live auctions that I see these very well-known crystal dealers doing. And I see why. Because they're getting a fortune for their specimens. And that is probably in the area they're worth. My dad, it's worth what someone's willing to pay for it. And that makes all the sense in the world. How about this? I am asking only $148 for a specimen that would easily be bidded up into a $300 and $400 range, if not more than that. So if you want something beautifully rare and unique and unusual, that is the one for you. And I don't have anything else like that when it comes to the epidote class of minerals. Now, let me show you. Oh yes, this one, item 123 1824. 123 1824. Check this out. I love it. Now, for those of you that remember those outstanding Broken Hill specimens from Australia that were rhodonite and galena. Rhodonite and galena. Well, those were larger, expensive ones. I have a small one, affordable. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this. And what a classic specimen. And I'll show you in a minute. Let me get my other light out. And when you see this material, it just stands out beautifully. Look at that. Look at that. Now, we've seen from Padre Pariso in Brazil, facet grade rhodonite. Rhodonite, remember, is kind of the silicate relative to rhodochrosite, which is a manganese carbonate. Well, rhodonite is a manganese silicate and often found with ore impurities, especially like the Canadian material. This is Broken Hill. This is very cool. Look at this. This is galena. Galena is a simple, very simple ore. One of the primary lead ores. It is only lead and oxygen is all that makes it up. Lead and oxygen. And you can melt this pretty easily at low temperature. Look at the crystals. Now, this is these specimens of rhodonite and galena from the Broken Hill area of Australia are very desirable. And to have, this is a little bit bigger than a thumbnail, but you could call it a thumbnail. Look at the colors in that. Look at those colors. You have some pinks, oranges, just remarkable, remarkable. for a mineral specimen, for a crystal specimen. We're not looking for a facet grade specimen. There's really no such thing that I have seen really from that area. It's not like the Brazilian rhodonites where you can find facet grade. It's just not common. But look at the colors. Nevertheless, the colors alone in this are stunning. And then when you look at the crystal formations of the galena, it really all adds up to a very attractive thumbnail piece of a very rare combination specimen. The mine only operated all the way from 1885 until just this past year. They have put it up for sale, but they don't expect really a buyer. But look how long it has been producing minerals. It is a kind of a national treasure, so to speak, the Broken Hill mine. It goes way back in time, and I don't know how the miners would early on even found it. I think it was kind of known locally to the Aborigines for the galena, for the lead, because that could be melted in their fires and, you know, done something with. Price on this one, very, very collectible and valuable piece, but this size, I made it affordable for anyone, $58. Only $58 for that guy. A fantastic chance for anyone to get a rare specimen. Let's look at item 2424. All kinds of good auspicious numbers coming up today. Let's see what we have here. Okay, this is the one I was thinking of earlier when I had opened up that Venus hair one. This is a combination specimen of phantoms and, let me show you, this is so cool, what the metaphysical world refers to as manifestation quartz. In other words, quartz that's crystal has grown around other quartz crystals, and you can see that right up here. Look at that. Now you're wondering what exactly optically is going on. Well, let's look from the back. Perfectly flat. Where are those crystals coming from? Well, they've actually grown, into this crystal. And when this face of this crystal was polished, of course, it left the existing parts that were still had penetrated this piece. So what you're left with is, look at that. I love manifestation crystals, where, or internal crystals, to have a more scientific name to me. All right, so look at those. You can see from the edge, flat there, but look at how they're penetrating into that, making it really unique. Now look at this. Here's the most unique phantom I have seen up until this piece. If you look, normally you get phantoms that trace the pyramidal shape of the crystal, right? Well, look at this unusual shape to this crystal right on this face. Look at the phantom. The phantom actually mimics the shape of that, even with the way and where it stops. And when you turn this at angles, look at that. Look at that. And I have never seen one exactly. Normally, I always get the pyramid on top of pyramid. In other words, the point on top of point kind. This is completely different. Completely. Look at that. So you get the entire length there. That is, again, like nothing I'd ever seen. And from every different angle. Now here you have some chlorite even. And then you have a larger inclusion of some chlorite penetrating here. But look at that. There again, how unique this piece is. It has a lot going on to it, and including a smoky color as well. And you're gonna love this. I have it specially priced for you, $28. I kid you not, only $28 for that guy. Let me see what else I can find you here. Oh, I don't want to run out of time. I way ran late, and we started late, so I already apologize for a short show. But if you want a longer show, you have it coming up Thursday, 3 a.m. to 9 a.m., right? It's those hours now, Asif, again, back to 3 to 9. 3 to 9, 6-hour show, a 6-hour show. And you're going to get to see not just what I'm showcasing now, but you're going to see a higher end of it. You're also going to see incredible jewelry, gemstones. His show is going to pull from other vendors here, and then I get to participate alongside him with these items and to talk about the pieces in a way that you will not have heard them described or talked about previously. And you just have to watch to find out what I mean. It will be completely different than what anything you're used to. And some of you are probably ready for that. Item 1, 2, 3, 25, 24. 1, 2, 3, 25, 24. And this is an item I'm giving everyone a chance at because it's a piece that would be desired even if you never liked a mineral specimen or had any attraction to anything like that. How can you not think something like this is as cool as can be? Look at that. Look at that. That is a smoky quartz crystal. Now, we've seen some of these. I showed you some of these in the other show, but not quite like this one. This one stands up on its own. Look at how large relative to the crystal that particular facet grade spessartine is. Look at all of them. They're large comparatively. Then, here's what's really cool. And they're easy to see. The internal ones. The internal crystals. In other words, while this quartz was growing, a floater spessartine, and I'll show you this in just, let me backlight that a little, was enveloped in the growth of the quartz and ended up right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of it. And as I change the angle on this, you're going to be able to see that a little. Whoops. There we go. Look at those. Look at those crystals. You could, yeah, easily. There's multiples of them. Quite a few. Several of them are internal crystals. They're probably either the ones on the outside are wishing they were inside or vice versa, but that guy is trapped beautifully. And I believe if you look down the crystal, there's some more. This is a remarkable piece. Look at the large size specialties. Let me put it in my hand so you can just get a general size of it. Look at that. Look at that. And then you have feldspar. It's from the famous Wushan spessartine mine, they actually call it. And then the black is, that's kind of interesting. I see some crystalline portion of it there. Let me see the base of this. 6-sided quartz there. Yeah, so that's still probably some quartz on there. And then the black over here looks like some metal ore. All right, I have a fantastic price on this. This is another one of those, because of how aesthetic it is, that would be bid up really high in an auction. I have this one at a set opportunity for those of you that want a very, very fun and cool piece for only $98. Only $98 on that. What an opportunity. Let me show you item 1, 2, 3, 22, 24. 1, 2, 3, 22, 24. And now, here's the piece I meant to talk about earlier when I was talking about labradorite, how almost anybody would call this Finnish spectrolite. But I'm calling it for what it most likely is, and that is the finest Madagascan labradorite you'll ever find. Look at this, with all the colors that, and the intensity. Look at that. Wow, look at that. Yeah, hold on one second. This is item 1, 2, 3, 22, 24. Look at the intensity of that, and that's why, rare color. That's why I have in there rare color. And this was one of my personal collector cabs, probably really Ravens. It has the neon intensity that you expect, or that is normally only found in the Finnish spectrolite. But let me show you something. This is just in my opinion. Let me show you the background color to this as I put a light behind it. All right, you see the light color to this? Remember the Finnish, how black the base color was? Now, not that there couldn't be some darker base. Look at the That's beautiful in itself, and that has nothing to do with how labradorite gets its color. That is from a different dispersion of light. But anyway, finished spectralite has a much darker base color. And so when you see this base color to this piece of it being that lighter color, it really needs to be called, if you don't know, you need to go with the safer and origin, and that would be Madagascar origin. But the dealers of this kind of high-end Madagascar material won't do that. They'll call it finished spectralite and charge more for it. But that's not the way. Look at the purple. I did not even see that a moment ago. Oh my goodness, where did that come from? Was I holding it a different way? Yes, there it is. I was holding it. Remember, the yellow line was on the top right there. I was holding it, and look it, I turn it this way, and then the purple, of course, is the rarest and most valuable color in materials like this. That, I don't know, maybe it probably is finished spectralite, but I just playing it safe there. That is remarkable. And then also, look at the back. The back, the color comes through as well. It's not even fully polished, but a piece like that doesn't need it. Anyway, here is a outstanding opportunity on material that normally sells for so much more. I'm offering this for, well, that's 91 carats. How about this? $48. You know, around 50 cents a carat. $48 for a double-sided and very desirable item. Okay, we only have a couple minutes left with you, but let me see. Let me see how many I can get to. Oh my. Okay, another item I just wanted to flash for you to get in on Thursday's show. Look at this. We can compare. This is androdite, demantoid. We're just flashing this for a moment also. We showed you one of the demantoids that was from Namibia, the Green Dragon deposit, to Bus's farm. Here is some Madagascar. So for you garnet collectors, watch the show. Look at these other incredible crystals as well. You're going to learn a lot more about this specimen. So make sure you watch the Thursday show. Okay, here, let me get in another one, a great deal of value here. 1, 2, 3, 27, 24. 1, 2, 3, 27, 24. And I wanted to give all of you an opportunity on this piece because I know the live show, of course, it would last, one phone call and it would be gone. But in honoring all of you, take a look. Take a look. Yeah. Yep. Altin tube or Altin tube. Kazakhstan dioptase collector specimen with a old perky box. So if you want to keep the perky box, that's fine. Look at this. Copper silicate is what dioptase is. And this is from what they call the type locality, the original locality where it was first discovered, which is like in the middle of a huge flat area of Kazakhstan. You wouldn't think anything was there. But yeah, look at these wonderful crystals and material. Dioptase goes for huge amounts of money. In this case, I am offering it, how about this, $36. Only $36. Now, let me get in two last items, which I don't want to show in the live show, but I want to show them right here. Let me show you really quickly an amazing specimen, item 1227, 624. 1227, 624. And what you're getting ready to see is something that comes with a little extra bonus to it. All right, I have never featured or showcased a selenite of this nature before. It is a very rare form of selenite. Look at this, called ram's horn from Chihuahua, Mexico. The way I always remember how to spell it, Chihuahua, Mexico. It is, gypsum. And look at that. I had to put it in there. Radioactive. I know, it's that R word I try to avoid. But let me show you. That is what makes it so special. I bet none of you have hydro Novachekite. You know Novachekite? Novachek is that poison they used to, the Russians used. Anyway, hydronovachekite, which Novachek is a deadly radioactive poison when concentrated and can be used for nefarious purposes. Now, let me show you. This ram's horn is huge. When you see any offered on the internet, they're small. They're small. This is a giant, in the world of ram's horn selenite, giant specimen. This is from the, look how tall this is, well-known area of Mexico that produces material like this. Now, how do I know there's hydronovachekite on it? Well, all right, you can see using the metal detector, the ambient, which runs anywhere from 30 to 50 counts per minute for just natural radioactivity that's all around us all the time. Now, if I put this up to the specimen, okay, let's see if we get any readings any different as we travel the length of it on this side. We can certainly see the average range going up. And then let's look down here. So you can see that it's definitely higher than normal, but not anywhere, you know, anything over 1,000 count per minute would be something that, you know, might be, you know, something you'd consider. But in this range, not so much. Here is, so you can see areas, and this is how you find what I'm getting ready to tell you. If you do not have a ultraviolet light, or let's say, put it this way, if you do not have a Geiger counter. So you can see down here at this end, it's a lot higher because you will not be able to find the Novachekite, but it is available to be seen. It is stunning. All you need is a ultraviolet light. Novachekite fluoresces some of the brightest yellow colors I have ever seen. It is neon chartreuse, if you can imagine that. And the little spots are tiny everywhere. So if you look at one at the same time, you know, you can find it, but it definitely takes, it's the same color. The crystals are the same color as the selenite. So without it, you can't find it. So it looks like a Christmas tree. A Christmas tree when using a long wave ultraviolet light. It is one of the most unique ultraviolet pieces I have ever seen with an extremely rare mineral, uranium mineral, doing it. So you can look that up. Here is a very beautiful, rare collector specimen, and I have it at a amazing opportunity. If someone wants something this unique, I have never seen these offered at the price I'm offering this for, especially the size that it is. This is a large size. This is only going to be $188. $188. And, you know, you can add a new mineral to your list. And if you collect uranium minerals, you almost especially want this because of the little tiny lights that light up all over it when you're looking at it. Stunning. Okay, I think we're down to maybe one last specimen I wanted to show you because it is super unique. Item 123, 11924. These were the nicer specimens, and somehow I was showing you the other end before I showed you these, but I'll be quick. Look at this. Okay, let's start off from the back side of this specimen. The back side of this is gorgeous in itself. So what you have are pyrites. Now, oh yeah, sorry about that, sir. I normally read it to you twice. I was just trying to hurry. Yep, it is 123, 1924. Now, yeah, thanks, Chuck. So looking at this, okay, I don't see anything that really says pyrite, right? Because on the other side, look at this specimen. Here is stunning Peruvian dolomite, the whitest dolomite crystals. Okay, dolomite crystals. And they're growing on top of quartz crystals, but let's look at the quartz. The quartz crystals have hematite. Look at the red tips in these. And look at that one. Look at that one, engulfed by dolomite. These, some are actually light amethyst. You can see the little hematite, the red hematite crystals in the tip of this. So that's where the hematite comes from. The chalcopyrite, we talked about chalcopyrite earlier today. Oddly enough, look at the iridescence. Here is the chalcopyrite. Now, how do you tell the difference between a chalcopyrite and a pyrite? Well, oftentimes iridescence is one way. This is natural iridescence. The other way, if you see triangles versus cubes, triangles, shapes, chalcopyrite, cubes, pyrite. Now, the quartz is beautiful in its own right. When I was looking down on this specimen, I was thinking, where is the pyrite? And I kept looking at it and kept looking at it. And then in the bottom of one of these wells, in between, I saw something that looked not iridescent, that looked a little bit like it could be pyrite. So I turned it over, and so when I saw this brass color, I thought, well, yeah, maybe that's pyrite, but where is the tell? Where is the one that really says what it is? And I found it, and if I can find it again, I'm not sure, but you will be able to, because I kept looking, and you can see this chalcopyrite that looks like it blends into the pyrite, correct? Well, then all of a sudden, there was a cube of pyrite. There was a couple of them. So that told me, and perfect cubes. So you have perfect cubes of pyrite for yourself to discover. Then there's your chalcopyrite, and there's your triangular form to it. So those are the two. This has amazing dolomite, pyrite, hematite, chalcopyrite, and quartz. An amazing specimen, very showy. It's cabinet quality, cabinet size, very collectible. The dolomites just are hung on those crystals with care. You can see when you get what they call the iron staining, or dolomite with iron, and that comes from the chalcopyrite. Just as silica, copper, gem silica gets copper from chrysocolla, well, you can see that's right next to the chalcopyrite bleeding into there, and that's how it gets its color. Look at those clusters of chalcopyrite. Very desirable. I have this priced exceptionally for only, you won't believe it, it is a deal to be had in this show, only $88. $88. If that was one, again, because of everything on in an auction, I can assure you it would be $388. All right, I think there was more to do, but we have run out of time. You're going to see, let me just make sure, Austin's been so good about giving me the time to show you. I have stunning items. Yeah, okay, so just to let you know, last item right here, an amazing deal. It is an opportunity for tourmaline crystals, and with this opportunity, which is going to be a basic giveaway. Look at all these crystals. Look at all these crystals. And they're not just your regular tourmaline. This is from the Pedernera mine. And if I show you, you can see that there is, look at the greens. So you see the green tourmalines. These are well saturated. You can see the reflection of greens. Look at that one's blue. That one is blue. And let me just, yeah, how do I do that? There we go. There we go. I knew something wasn't quite working right. And then let me see if I can't back. Look at that. That's a blue. See the blue? Here, I'll pull the light away. Oh my word, that is absolute pure indicolite. I should have saved this parcel. Look at this. Look at I saw a bicolor to that one, part green and part blue. So these are just, look at the intensity of the blue. I think I'll change my mind. Yeah, item number 1204824. And that's why these are special. That's why these are special. Look at that one. They're almost all blue. The green one, look at the blue to that. The green one was the oddball. And so these lend themselves to a collecting them, to making necklaces, drop necklaces. Look at that. Out of them, or even tumbling them and making, look at that. Look at the two bicolor. I see green on the left and blue. Look at that. Wow, and you guys didn't buy these the first time I showed them. That means I'm gonna have to discount them. Here, the whole parcel. How about it? $24. And with that, I'll be right back to tell you the rest of the story. Okay, I don't want to ever say anything is the last of, but that may be the last video cast where you see me in it shot just for what we're doing here. Instead, what you're going to get to see is starting next, well, Thursday, right? Wow. So we're shooting today's Thursday. So kind of threw me. Okay, a week from today. First on Monday, you're going to get to see this show that I'm recording right now. Then Thursday morning, 3 a.m. to 9 a.m., the return of me to the live show. But more importantly, Asif. Asif is creating a new show called The Great Gem Show. GGS, The Great Gem Show. It's going to envelop opportunities for all the vendors to have their inventory in the show. It's going to be an opportunity for me to be on the set for the first time in 7.5 years, live, but not as your host like you see me now. I'm going to get to add my 2 cents in on all kinds of different inventory, and then also bring you the items that you're used to, and in some price points that are a little bit higher than what you've seen before, including, of course, pieces like that aquamarine and that garnet, the other items I teased you with. And as you know, and I've said along the way, that the further I've gotten into my collection, the better it's gotten. And I think you have all agreed with the gold specimens and the knives in this show, et cetera. Well, we're going to continue that. Better and better items. Great opportunities. Remember, we're going to be in a 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. slot. Asif's director of production, he is going to have, and I'm lucky to say this, as having a part of his show, he is going to be able to do so much more being director of production in his particular show than you might see in other shows. Everybody, like Asif says, has a fair shot to create any show they want. It's up to them. And if they fail, I think it's always on the vendor's part, the host part. If I sound stupid, I sound stupid. That's just the way it is. No one is going to cover up for me. We're going to run a amazingly fun, educational, amazing deal, multiple varied item type of show in a format that you are not familiar with and haven't seen before. Now, to get everybody's motor going, for all of you watching me right now on a Monday, you saw those 3 crystals at the beginning of the show. Now, to have first choice, if you call in, tell us what those crystals are, we will live. Remember, this is going to be live at that moment. Let me show you. Let me show you what we're going to do. Exactly. Asif knew exactly what to do. I am going to say, you're going to be able to say, I want the pear-shaped one. Pear-shaped one goes to Arlene in Texas or Arkansas. I want the oval one. Oval one.
Miss Gabby.
Miss Gabby in many different states.
Karen.
Karen.
Brad.
Brad.
Chuck.
Chuck.
Awesome.
Asif doesn't count. He doesn't get one. Boy, see what I got to deal with already. We're going, by the way, those Madeiras, that's the most valuable color in a Madeira citrine. All these lighter color citrines, they should not ever carry that moniker. They need to look like a high value spessartine garnet. And those look exactly, they look so much like one, I had to check them over and over to make sure I wasn't going to give away spessartine garnet. This is super old stock. They're very well cut. But there isn't a finite supply. There is an end to them. I don't have, so it is basically first come, first serve. I'm going to have enough, though, I think, for everybody that calls in. You're going to get them until they run out. But you have to name those 3 different crystals at the beginning of this show to prove that you watched that show and have moved over to the live show. And with that, I'm going to say I love and appreciate every one of you that has been here with me through this 7.5 year, 362 show journey from when I left doing the live show here at Gem Shopping that I did for 9 years to this show. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot the live show, then we're going to take those 6 hours and we're going to plug it into this YouTube channel slot right here. So for those of you that aren't able to watch a 3 in the morning to 9 a.m. show, you can watch still this video cast at your leisure and 24/7. Everything is the same. You can call in, get those numbers, get even numbers from the last couple shows if you want to get those kind of pricing opportunities. Support us and it will be well worth your while. Giveaways of value, education you can't get anywhere else, and talent in the hosting. And I'm not talking about my knowledge, I'm talking about Asif's knowledge. He is the man. If there was somebody I could pick out of everybody here to host with, I would have loved if you had ever been an opportunity. I would pick Asif. I would pick Asif. And so as fate and as I say a prayer before every show, Asif can attest, if there was to be answered prayer, if you're a spiritual person, then I can only say that I feel like prayers were answered in him dropping this bombshell on me this morning. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful and I'm very complimented by him asking me to be part of his show. So, you know, you won't see me all the time, but I'll be right close by and I'll be dropping in and out of the show and I'll be adding information and dialogue along the way on other items. So please join us, call in, tell us the 3 crystals that you saw at the beginning of the show, and you will get your choice of, and you only get your choice if you call in at the beginning of the show. Other than that, later on, we won't have time for you to get to pick the one you have. But they're all in the carat range. You can't go wrong with any one of them. But if you want to do something live, then Asif said, you know, within probably after about the first 15 minutes, call in. We'll have that pile of gems out for you.
When you see Shawn.
Yeah, there you go. When you see Shawn, when you see me, that's when we're going to be doing the giveaways. And first come, first pick on the gem of your choice. And remember, those kind of Madeiras, they go for, and I have seen them right here at Gem Shopping, upwards of $100 a carat. It's not like giving away 10-cent stones like in the olden days when Gem Shopping used to start every show with a giveaway. And I used to laugh. There were these little tiny stones. But that was another day and another story. This is a brand new show like nothing you've seen. Join us Thursday morning from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. for a show so refreshing. Well, I'll let Asif shout out the name.
Great Gem Show.
There we go. You heard it from him first. The Great Gem Show of Gem Shopping. Be there, 3 a.m. Thursday morning to 9 a.m. I'm counting on you. God bless all of you. And thank you more than you'll ever know or that words can describe my gratitude from me to all of you. See you Thursday. Cheers.